Welcome to Beyond the Red Carpet. I'm Francine Brokaw, and this is the Lunar New Year time, the year of the rat or the mouse, depending on how you look at it. Up the street at Disneyland Resort, they're having a great festival full of fun and fantasy and a lot of colors to commemorate the year of the mouse, which of course is Mickey Mouse. So take a look and see what's going on at Disneyland Resort. I am here now with Gary Majetti.
That's right.
And you've been here at Disneyland for how many years?
Well, 24 years yesterday.
Holy
I celebrated
cow.
my 24th anniversary.
Well, we are here to celebrate the Lunar New Year festival, and every year it gets bigger and bigger.
It does.
So can you explain to us exactly what's going on here this time and what's new?
I love this time of year, and I think that the decor, and it's very immersive. Every time you walk through the arch, you feel fully part of the Lunar New Year festival.
Definitely.
All the way through. This year, we've actually changed out several of the menu items. We've done quite a bit of research, and in fact, I'll tell you a little secret. We had 3 of our chefs competing for their version of one of our menu items. So it's a brand new menu item. It's shrimp and ginger dumplings with a soy reduction on them. And I had 3 sets of ginger dumplings in front of me to taste, which is a really tough job, as you can probably
somebody
imagine.
has to do it, yeah.
And but our chefs put so much love and care into the research, into all of our new menu items. So those are fantastic. We of course have one of our traditional favorites at the Paradise Garden Grill, which is our main anchor restaurant. We have 4 different additional marketplaces celebrating bao and noodles, etc. Right? Well, at the Paradise Garden Grill, we still have the whole fried tilapia.
Wow.
And when you see that coming through the dining room, this huge whole fried fish, it serves 2. It's fantastic and very traditional and absolutely delicious.
Well, I have had a chance to sample several of the different menu items around the park, and I tell you, I'm so full right now. You can't miss these things because they are so delicious.
Yeah, well, many of our guests actually have learned there's a really fun way to experience the festival.
Okay.
And that's with the Sip and Savor Pass.
A must, definitely a must.
You get 6 tear-off tabs. They're good for any one of our menu items. And even at our at Paradise Garden Grill, we've got sip and savor size portions, kind of smaller portions, for you to use these for as well.
I use mine there.
Yeah, it's like a cruise on land. And last year, one of the things that we love about Lunar New Year is it's a great opportunity for us to try new things for our guests. And last year, we introduced the concept of find the shortest line. So some of our marketplaces are a little busier than others, so the queue can get pretty long. So we just tell our guests, all you need to do is get in one line, order from any kiosk, ring it up once, and you just go pick it up at each of the kiosks. So it makes it a lot faster.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. And I love the Sip and Savor Pass because you don't have to keep getting your wallet out.
Exactly.
You just say, I want this, here you go, here's the little sticky, and here.
We have a special menu that you can just grab. It looks it's kind of small, and you can see everything that's eligible for it.
And there are a lot of good stuff.
New this year, so we're really excited because we have worked with our Disney digital partners, and we've introduced mobile order to the festivals. First time we've ever done it. So we're testing it right now for this festival and see if it works for others. It's not compatible with the Sip and Savor Pass, but it's another way to find a really short line. Just order on your phone.
Yes, but I really honestly highly recommend anybody that comes for this to get the Sip and Savor Pass. But you've also gone all out this year because you went to China.
That's right.
To get a wardrobe designer to design.
Wow Pei, amazing talent.
A special wardrobe for Mickey and Minnie to honor Lunar New Year.
That's right.
And here he is in all his finest.
Wow.
Look at that beautiful outfit.
Look absolutely fantastic.
You are stunning. Can you make a little twirl and show us the whole thing? No.
You look great.
You're so, look how shiny. Look at that.
Beautiful. The embroidery is gorgeous.
It is. It's haute couture, you know?
Wonderful.
And Minnie has a beautiful new outfit as well. The love of his life. The love of his life. Well, thank you for joining us. And hopefully, people that come and visit during the Lunar New Year will get to see Mickey and Minnie in their new finest outfits for the Lunar New Year celebration.
That's right. Every day now through February 14th.
Through February 14th?
That's right.
Wow, that's a long time. Okay. Well, we'll be back to see you. And come on down and celebrate the Lunar New Year. As you saw at the Disneyland Resort, there's Mulan's Lunar New Year procession. And with me now, I'd like to introduce and welcome Tzi Ma, who is in the new Mulan live action movie that's coming out in March. And you play Mulan's father.
Correct.
Well, welcome. I appreciate you coming down here. And let's talk a little bit about first of all, how did you get the role of Mulan's father?
I was told that there was a live action Mulan. Unfortunately, I was actually out of the country at the time when they were auditioning. I almost missed this movie.
Uh-oh, well, we're happy that you didn't.
So, me too. And I think of course, they're not going to wait for one actor. So the audition process went on, and I believe they did see quite a number of fine actors from the Asian American acting community, and I believe that when I got back, they just wanted to have a meeting with me, just in case, I guess.
Oh, so you took a meeting,
if deals were not made, so you don't know. Of course, you have to make a deal. So they brought me in to have a meeting with Nikki Caro, the director. Mm-hmm. And we got off really well. I thought she has a very interesting and precise take on the story. That the story is based on more of the legend, the original legend of the Mulan legacy, as opposed to a complete remake of the animation. It is absolutely based on the animation, no doubt. Uh-huh. And we actually got a chance to read a couple of scenes, just for fun. And Nikki decided that I would be right for the role.
Well, I saw the trailer, and you are right for the role, definitely.
Thank you.
Okay, we can get into a little bit more of Mulan later at the end, but I have been looking through your resume. It's so long. I mean, you've been in Veep, Silicon Valley, Madam Secretary, Man in the High Castle, NCIS, Grey's Anatomy, NYPD Blue. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. You are a true working actor. What do you attribute all your longevity to? I mean, it's amazing to read all the things that you've done.
Thank you. I've been around,
yeah.
So steadfastness. I think you really need the patience, and also, if this is what you want to do, if you ask your heart of hearts, what do you want to do in life, and the answer is, I want to be an actor, then by all means stick to it. I think eventually the cream rises to the top, because not so much that you're better than anybody, but you stuck it out. I think that's a key, that if something that you really are passionate about, stick with it. I think eventually you're going to shine.
How old were you when you knew this is what you wanted to do? Because like I say, you've been doing this a long time.
I always knew. I come from a huge family. So I'm the youngest of 7 children.
Hey.
So I am the entertainment. So
you were
really, always. Because, we had a family restaurant in New York City, and everyone works really hard, long hours. And I kept everybody light, so they don't have to worry about getting up early, prepping for the restaurant, and going into the late nights.
So you were the comic relief of the
family. I am
the
comic relief, 100%. I used to dress up. I don't know what got into me, really. But so really, I've been doing this since pretty much elementary school.
Wow. So you were born in Hong Kong.
Yes.
And how old were you when you came over?
I was young. I mean, we came here when I was in the 3rd grade.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of interesting because the whole transition is kind of a culture shock, obviously, because first of all, the distance is so far. Second, I think the most fascinating thing was that 26 letters make up the entire language. I was fascinated because, Chinese characters are very complex.
Yes.
I figured there's no way for these 26 symbols to make up the entire language.
Yeah.
So I was fascinated with spelling because I just couldn't figure out why this is. So
Did it take
that was
you-
kind of, yeah. It took me a while,
It
yeah.
did.
It took me a while to accept the fact that only 26 and no more. So that was kind of fun.
So how many characters in Chinese language? I mean, I've started doing some of that a long time ago, and I thought, oh, this is hard.
There are some bases. I mean, there are 54 characters, what they call radicals. So that's kind of our alphabet, the 54 radicals. But the combination is like you could have many radicals in one word. So, I mean, if you're lucky, if you supposedly, I think the theory is that if you know 2,000 characters, you pretty much can read any paper or magazine.
2,000 characters.
2,000 characters.
As opposed to 26.
Yeah, right. So hopefully, your vocabulary is a little wider than that. Unfortunately, not mine. So I speak like a child when I speak Chinese.
When you speak Chinese,
Yes.
but not American, because we've seen you and you're great. But okay, so you came over here and your family started a Chinese restaurant.
Yes. Back in the day, I mean, there were very few professions that we can kind of get into. I mean, the two major ones, obviously, is the restaurant and the laundry.
Yeah.
So we're kind of stuck, in terms of our immigrant experience is pretty limited. So within these two professions, and we took full advantage.
Do you
Raised the entire family.
Do you cook for your family?
I don't.
You don't?
I'm the front guy. I'm always in the front. I mean, I'm talking to customers, so I do waitering, and I never did any of the cooking.
You didn't?
At all.
So
my
you
dad
can't
did,
cook
my
me a
brother.
Chinese food?
No, unfortunately,
Gosh darn it.
I
I was
fail
hoping
you.
to ask you,
Francine,
would you-
sorry. I can't do it because the rest of the family is so good. They are really good chefs.
And
So
they're all still back in New York?
Somewhat, no. We're kind of spread out a little bit. Part of them in Sunnyvale in Northern California.
Okay.
And some of them are still in New York. My brother and my sister, one of my sisters.
But you've got
still
7
there.
siblings.
Yes.
Holy
yes,
cow, that's
yes,
a lot.
Yes.
Well, let's go back to your career, because I remember seeing you in Dante's Peak. I love that movie, and I don't
Me
ask me
too.
why. I love that movie, and throughout the years I've had a great pleasure to interview Pierce Brosnan many, many times. And this was prior to his Bond years.
No, he was doing Bond.
Was he still doing Bond then?
Yes. Matter of fact, he had the Bond car with him when we were shooting Dante's Peak in
wow.
Idaho. Yeah. He got well acquainted with the Idaho Police Department very
Wow.
well.
Well, yeah, he told me that his favorite part about being James Bond was the Aston Martin, so.
Oh my God! I think at that time he had the BMW,
Oh, yeah, okay.
which is really, slick and classy and fast. So Idaho, there's no traffic really, so he does pick up speed a little bit. And then, when he gets pulled over, and, everybody just want to take a picture with him, right?
Of course. I mean, he never gets a ticket, he'll just take a picture.
Yes.
So, okay, so your entire resume, you've obviously been with the cream of the crop. Are any stories from anybody that you want to share with us that you've had?
Wow, so many. I mean, you're right. I've had the good fortune of working with some fabulous actors. And Morgan Freeman, for example, I've worked with.
I adore him.
Yes, and he's also directed me, in Madam Secretary. So I appreciate Morgan very much. I remember one time we were shooting chain reactions in Chicago in the winter,
Right. Okay.
and we were shooting in some abandoned steel mill and it was 45 below. It was so cold. And we did have an exterior with Keanu Reeves and Morgan. I remember he coming into the makeup trailer and very happy. Good morning, everybody. I said, Morgan, I think you made up your mind on what expression you like to have on your face. And he's laughing. He said, what are you talking about? I said, you'll see. In about 5 minutes when we go and rehearse, your face would, I mean, whatever expression you had on your face, that's the expression.
It froze.
It's completely frozen. He really didn't know what I was talking about, you know. And he thought I was making some joke. I said, actually, it's not that funny. And sure enough, when he went outside and we shot the scene, we came back into the trailer and he said, Ty, you're right. I got to think of my expressions right now because no matter what it was, so, you know, you kind of stuck with that. And working with Michael Caine is a wonderful experience. We also shot a movie called The Quiet American, and it was the first foreign film shot in Vietnam, post-war. So we had a wonderful time there, and Michael is exquisite to work opposite of. Tom Hanks, you know,
I've
amazing.
He is such a sweetheart.
Yes.
What were you in with Tom?
We did Lady Killers, a remake of a classic, you know, with the Coen brothers. And Tom, not only he's a gentleman, he's articulate, he's funny, and he's also very generous.
He is?
Yes, and
yes.
I remember he would buy, every Friday, I think he bought lottery tickets for the entire cast and crew.
Oh my.
Every Friday.
Did you ever win anything?
I'm sure somebody did, not me though.
Not you.
Not me. But he's also a practical joker too. I mean, he'll pull one on you, you know.
Yeah,
So
he
it's
likes
always,
to have
yeah,
fun.
Absolutely,
I know him.
absolutely.
Yes.
So you know, these are some of the fun things that we do, and I appreciate, and Pierce too. I mean, Pierce would have like barbecue over his house, because we're in the middle of nowhere, really, right, in Idaho.
Yes.
So, and the special thing about Dante's Peak is that it's always, it's such an American story, because there are no volcanologists, you know, that is so active other than us. We go all over the world, you know, the USGS. And we advise everybody when the earthquake may happen. And we're truly an expert in that area. We create all the equipment. Nothing is manufactured. Everything is created in somebody's garage. So that's fascinating. And the fact that Dante's Peak, as a film, never ever pointed to the ethnicity of any of the volcanologists.
Right.
That
that's
we
true.
are treated as scientists only.
Right.
So you really don't have that kind of problem in terms of how to, you know, to deal with something that's kind of irrelevant, other than the fact that they are really, truly crackerjacks at what they do. They're so good at it. And this is also the sentiment of the entire set. No one's ever really talked about anything other than what we do as scientists.
Yeah, that show
Special.
definitely put a spotlight on the volcanologists.
That's right.
And volcanoes per
Yes,
se, and
yes.
they are popping up all over the world now. That one just blew up in Philippines.
Too. I mean,
Yeah.
Mexico
Yes.
as well.
Oh, that's right, Mexico too.
Mexico. That's a big one too.
Well, let's get. Okay. Before I get back to Mulan, you are in. I've got so many. You have so many projects. It's hard to narrow this down. But The Farewell. You are in The Farewell. That is getting rave reviews.
Yes. Yes.
And have you done a lot of PR for that yet, or?
We have. We've been very fortunate that the audience loved the film, and it really kind of struck a chord with the global audience. We're very happy with the results.
I have not met anyone who hasn't fallen in love with that movie once they've seen it.
I think, you know, it's a story really, it's so interesting because it's kind of a transgenerational story where we're talking about a relationship between grandparents and grandchildren. So it's very special in that way, and not often talked about. There are no spotlight in terms of, you know, how grandparents deal with grandchildren and how they affect our lives. You know, how close we are, you know, with grandchildren. Right. So that story, you know, really kind of hit home with a lot of people.
Now, in the Chinese culture, the multi-generations are closer than they are over here. Do you find that to be true?
I find it to be true. I think if there's anything about a 5,000-year-old culture is that, there are some advantages. Of course, there are some disadvantages as well, I mean, the 5,000-year culture, could be a ball and chain to hold you back too. So you really have to be careful. I think you need to reconcile with the difference, the fact that you are, Asian American. So there are a lot of things about America that you need to embrace because you're here. You're not going anywhere else.
Yeah.
So.
Have you turned down any roles that you've regretted turning down later on? And vice versa, have there been anything that you really wanted but you couldn't get?
There are very few regrets, really. I think I have a fairly good grasp of material. I think there's only one regret that a role that I didn't get was The Killing Fields.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with Hang Nor. Of course, he won the Academy Award,
Right.
For Best Supporting Actor. And a wonderful man. God bless him. He's since passed. But that was one role I really wanted, and I was this close. So
wow.
I think the reason being that Dip Prawn, who the character's based on, was a New York Times journalist, photographer, and he was actually at the New York Times, and I met him, and we actually resemble each other. In a very kind of I think because we're kind of boyish looking at the time, and Hang has such a kind of, he's gone through so much and it's etched on his face. I think Roland really wanted someone who can portray that without kind of looking at someone and say, I don't think this guy ever went through this kind of hardship. So I thought Hang Nor really because of the way he looked. And also, he was also Cambodian, so I think he brought in something extra, something really much deeper, that what I can bring.
Than what you could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, we are going to now focus on Mulan.
Okay.
I have a little Mulan here. Hello, Mulan. This is from the animated show. Now, the live action show is coming out, like I said earlier, in March. Will air next month. I mean, it will come out next month. How does it differ from the animated show that we are so used to, that's been part of our culture now for a while?
I think a lot of the story, really the story, even the live action, is based on the animation. So you can see, the influence of the animation into the live action, and also we pay homage to the animation as well.
Well,
And
it's such a part of our pop culture.
Of course.
I mean, it has been, and she's one of the most beloved Disney princesses.
Yes. Although she's not a princess,
No, she's not,
but she's considered one. Absolutely.
Yes.
She's in that princess family,
Right.
for sure.
Yes.
And I think a departure from the animation is that we tend to follow the legend, more truthfully. The original legend was, really 2,000 years old. And I think probably, I would say more adult.
Okay.
More adult.
More adult than
than the animation. I think the animation serves, a different purpose. So today, I think you really see that the Mulan character is much more independent. You can see the Mulan character is has much more of a self-determination as opposed to being influenced by, the love interest. I think you will see that the live-action Mulan definitely is a woman warrior, and the fact that the one through line really is her devotion to family. The relationship between father and daughter is fairly consistent.
Now, do you play, as Mulan's father, do you have a larger role than the animated father?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so.
From what I've seen, I think
Yes,
so too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a spotlight on this relationship.
On the relationship between
Yes,
father and daughter.
absolutely. And that, because the legend itself, is based on this poem that 2,000 years ago someone had actually written a poem about Mulan, and one of the most important phrases in the culture is that she went to war in place of her father. So I think that was an important message. And I think it's really important too, the fact that Nikki is a director that has an amazing sensitivity and pays attention to Mulan's journey, much more so than the animation. Although the animation, it's already focused on her journey, but it's not as in depth, I think,
Well,
as the live action.
for one, am definitely looking forward to seeing you and the cast in the new Mulan live action. I mean, Disney does a good job at all their stories.
Yes.
And I wish you luck with that. And
Thank you.
I want to make sure that all the viewers go out in March and watch the new Mulan live action movie. And in the meantime, thank you very much for coming down. I appreciate it. And we're going to leave you with a trailer from the new Mulan movie to whet your whistle, whet your appetite, so you can go on and get ready and watch the new Mulan live action. She's different from the animated, but she's definitely going to be something that we're gonna all take to heart. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time when we take another look beyond the red carpet. I'm Francine Brokaw.
Do you know why the phoenix sits on the right hand of the emperor? She is his guardian, his protector. That she's both beautiful and strong. Your job is to bring honor to the family. Do you think you can do that?
Citizens, we are under attack from northern invaders.
Their leader calls himself Ori Khan.
Fights alongside a witch.
No survivors. By edict of His Imperial Majesty, every family must contribute 1 man to fight.
Have you no son?
I am blessed with 2 daughters. I will fight.
We must be strong. This time it will not return. Loyal, brave, and true. It is my duty to protect my family.
Ancestors, please protect her.
What is your name, soldier?
Hua Jun, Commander, son of Hua Zhou.
We're going to make men out of every single one of you.
Close the gate!
The spirit is evident, but something holds you back.
When they find out who you are, they will show you no mercy. I'm Hua Mulan. I will bring honor to us all.